Yo, what up, manga readers? I am back with another video. Reviewing the Magic Knight's entrance exam of, well, sorry, let me say this again. The Magic Knight's entrance arc of Black Clover. A very popular Shonen Jump manga. It has an anime. As has been in use since last year. And recently it's got some new news. Its manga, once again, is entering Super Climax. Yeah, I don't. So, just it may be ending soon. It depends. Will we see Black Clover end this year? Who knows? Also, the new anime, the sequel anime coming out this year, adapting the content that was not adapted in the original one. So yeah. So brief history. Black Clover is a manga series written by Yuki Tabata. Is that right? That's right. Published in Weekly Shonen Jump since 2015, I think. I mean, it's not too different from it received an anime adaptation in 2017 by Studio Pierrot, the studio behind Naruto and Bleach, and also Yu Yu Hakusho, three well-known Shonen Jump titles. He also worked on the original adaptation Urusei Yatsura from Weekly Shonen Sunday. Not joking, they actually did work on that, look it up. And currently Studio Pierrot is working on the final part of the 3,000 Year Blood arc, releasing in just a couple months, in July. Probably won't have enough time to finish up, watch the entire anime for then. Considering how long specific story arcs are. Anyway, around its arcs, the 10th and 11th arcs, it seemed to move to Jump Square to continue its run, or not, sorry, Jump Giga. Similar to Jujutsu Kaisen's final arc. Mostly because you need more dedicated time for a final arc. I think that's a smart move. Putting a monthly magazine allows more time to focus on specific story elements in the week, but the weekly crunch. Some of us can't make it during a weekly run. It's a really high-risking task. Anyway, Black Clover's anime yesterday came out in 2017. It went all the way up until 2021. I actually have watched the entire anime too. I did reviews on them last year, I think. No, sometime in like 2023, 2024, I can't remember. It was a great series. I've only seen a bit of Black Clover prior to that. But getting to watch the entire anime made me really love it so much. And if you ask me what my favorite story arc is, I'd say it's the Elf Reincarnation arc. Just the amazing action and characters. It's just my favorite arc of the entire series. Granted, not seen all the following arc. Not seen the following arcs. Well, I bet there is. So that might change. He's probably my favorite arc of the anime. Don't know how the manga version ends up. As the anime did make some slight changes to the manga, like extended Anderson scenes that weren't in the manga, which does depend on some characters. So, yeah, you can tell it has some pacing issues. As you look at the chapters the first arc is compared to the anime, yeah, you know the structure. As the manga's first arc was only 10 chapters. But the anime had 13 episodes for the first arc. Yeah. But I don't remember, but I didn't see anything at below. Didn't see a below episode of them. Maybe because some scenes extended some episodes. Causing to go up to 13 or something. I don't know. I do plan to rewatch One Piece once I've been Black Clover. And rewatch the anime once I'm done with the manga. No, when I'm doing the final arc, when I get onto the more current arc, I'll be doing that. I'll be going to the current story and title it Part 1. Basically, ongoing current story arcs will be Part 1. And then once the arc's over, once the arc's over, I'll finish up do Part 2. I'm going to do that for Kinnikuman and Ronnie Kenshin as well. So look forward to that. But anyway, let's get into the story. So, the series opens up in a village where we're in a world that magic is everything. As we get introduce our protagonist, who's pretty loud, named Asta. He's an orphan who wants to become something called the Wizard King, a very powerful mage. Basically, it's royalty for wizards. So yeah, Asta's dream of it. Because his Yuno and rival, someone he considers a rival really, is also going to be going. He's much more talented in magic, when Asta can't use any. No reason. But Asta doesn't give up. His catchphrase is this: "I'm not done yet," and exercises quite a lot. For a 15-year-old, he has a really muscular body. But wait till you get to much later in the story. It's kind of designed in bad. I prefer the original more. I don't know, it just looks well. I'll save that for when we get to that point in the story. Anyway. So, the time has come for young Welts guys. So, the Grimoires are confident for their magic. Everyone gets theirs. That's a one with a 4-leaf clover on it. It's good. It's representation of 7. Actually, I do it the manga, so I can list it. So usually they have 3 leaves. It represents faith, hope, and love. The 4th one represents good luck, which makes sense. Whether it's up now, well, prepare it. Well, he also did not receive his grimoire. He can be laughed at. Also has to shoot him down, but he won't give up. Just like Asta. That's just like That's when he knows being attacked by a thief trying to steal his grimoire. Also tries to step in to help, but nothing. He has a single magic in his body, so he can't use it. Asta will give up, but worse when encourage him to not give up. Now, there's actually a splashback in this manga, but it seems the anime actually expanded on it much more. Now, maybe explanation why it's now 13 episodes instead of 10 chapters. Instead of 5, 6 or whatever chapters. I don't know how many chapters need to be adapted into an episode. It depends on their length for me. Yeah. I said help but once back in the day. As I mentioned earlier, I asked a thing for a woman named Lily, who's basically she's a nun. And every time he asks her to marry him, when he's so persistent, she unconsciously uses her magic to knock him out. It's a fun little running joke. Some people may find Asta's voice in the anime a little annoying. I don't. It's just about Asta's BA also is the Japanese voice of Shimmer in Fire Force. Great voice actor. I can understand though, some people find him annoying. What is the voice of? You find that annoying? I don't know. Anyway, after that, it's just to have Asta ends up agreeing. Anyway, Asta's determined. Also, Yulu call Asta his rival. Asta's able to gain a grimoire with 5 clovers. As a 5th clover seems to represent the devil. Foreshadowing? Again, not seen the story, I'm not spoiling it. And Asta said, what comes out of the Grimoire is a giant sword. I'll ask her to take care of that bastard. Seems the sword has anti-magic properties. It's just really interesting. I think that's what makes Asta quite unique in Shonen Jump compared to some other characters. He doesn't rely on any flashy techniques or anything, like Luffy's or like Luffy, Naruto, or Goku. They use techniques more than regular combat weapons. Asta does use a sword, but mainly for his own strength and skills. Shows how determined he is. I'm not saying what the others do is a bad thing, I'm just saying. Asta stands out a bit. Manga still did. I just like the volume cover too, by the way. It looks like does look like a typical grimoire. Clever design. But I really like modern Shonen Jump mangas. Like, when they started translating Shonen Jump, they have a distinct style for a while. You know, constantly printing English copies of volumes. They do translate the Japanese volumes, but add a weird crescent moon symbol with the number in it every time. But around the 2010s, they stopped doing that for a while. Mid to late 2010s, something. Because World Trigger was released around 2015, I think, 2013. I can't remember. Still uses the old Shonen Jump logo that you had. If you see One Piece volumes, they did originally have the old Shonen Jump logo. None of this covered on because they're reprints. So what else happens is also I got that complete volumes of Bleach. Okay. I got taken care of. And they both vow to see who become the Wizard King. That they'll both one day, one of them become the Wizard King. We do learn a little bit later in the arc why Asta wants to become the Wizard King. But that was prepared. After Nino go and join the Magic Knights, the anime actually adds a scene we see the do traveling to the location, but chapter 2 just opens up right at that location. We also learn these special birds called anti-magic birds. They're able to act how much magic power you got. That's how close you get. And since you has a lot of power, birds don't go near him. But Asta's the opposite. Again, Asta and Yuno are supposed to be opposites in terms of skill. You know what I mean? Well, after that, Mr. Charles. Asta is a brother to someone named Sakai. Seke. I think it's Seke. It's been a while, I can't remember how you pronounce his name. Seke. It's Seke. Right. Gosh, feel free to correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I mean, just tell me in the comments if I'm pronouncing it wrong or not. Anyway, Luffy. That's right, don't mix up. That's actually. So yeah, Charles heads up, which is the Magic Knight captains. One of them captured the Black Bulls, Yami Tsukihiro, who in the dub of the anime is played by Chris Sabat. Now, what I watched through the entire anime was through Japanese, so not too familiar with the dub cast. I've seen quite a bit of them, not all of it, so I plan to rewatch it. Seke's actually a jerk. And Asta takes care of him in the combat section, but Asta built all the other sections. So when it comes to being chosen for squads, a lot of people wanted Yuno. So he chose the Golden Dawn, the most powerful, most famous squad, most powerful. Well, Asta seems to be bigger. But seeing Asta's determination, did that happen? As I said, Yami is impressed with Asu's determination and basically invites him to join the Black Bulls because they have the reputation of being the worst squad. So Asu's taken there. Also, with Yami is Fimo, guy who can use spatial magic, and Golden, who can use. I can't remember what type of magic he uses. Oh, the thing with Golden is, it's not real here, but he talks like this. He talks very quietly. So, Asu's introduced the rest of the Black Bulls. I see I can't remember their names. There's Grey, who remains mysterious for now. Gosh, Luck, Magma, who's important in this story. Vanessa, Imagine Pimmer and Gordon. And Charmy. There are other members away right now. So for now, it's just them. And also gets an initiation test with Magma, who's a really great character. I love Magma. You know, he's got real mad attitude. He's likable. He uses type of fire magic. More simply, he focuses on fire. Yes, but it's his own unique style. So yeah, turns out the sword can not just anti-magic, it can come through it, but it's also able to deflect it. Not even last time you wrote. So yeah, he impressed Madman's properly welcomed as a member of the Black Bulls, getting the cape and everything. Or was it cloak? I'm I think it's a hood. He ends up meeting the other new recruit, Noelle, full name Noelle Silva, a member of the Silva family royalty, but she's disgraced by her family. We end up finding out why. Even though she puts on an arrogant attitude, it's revealed that she can't really control magic and is embarrassed to tell anyone. But the Black Bulls accept her for who she is. Yes, everyone in the Black Bulls is a bunch of screw-ups. Yeah. We get focus arcs on each member of the Black Bulls. Out of all the Black Bulls, I say my favorite one has to be Finro. Because he gets tied to one of the most epic moments in one of the later story arcs. Like, he gets one of the most epic. An arc that's supposed to be about him. I'm not spoiling anything, because I want to talk about it when we get there. But for now, it has something to do with his character. And it just leads to an epic scene. If you know, you know. But that's all I'm going to say. So, after Noelle feels suspected, Magma takes the two recruits on a mission. On a first ever mission. And he goes, Yummy, they lost in a game of poker, and now they have wild boars. So yeah. Of course, Magma has to take them on his ride. There's one Asa has no magic, and Noelle can't control hers. No funny, but as they head off. Actually, by the village for a little quest. But Magma knows someone's off. Sees it's surrounded by magic. Magical mist. So Magma tells Asta to cut through it. See, and be attacking the villagers. Like, as when the young man who won the poker game is being killed. Yeah, right. It just so interesting enough. The anime actually expands on shows Magma's backstory. Yeah, for some reason I didn't even realize this till just now, but Magma's backstory is not in the manga, at least in this arc. So I don't know why. Actually, I like his backstory. Basically, he was a delinquent. After getting his Grimoire, he was just a delinquent, but it was the old man who taught him a lesson, and he gained respect for him. And became a good person and helped care about the villagers. It's a really cool, but cute, not a serious backstory like other characters, but shows that anyone can be reformed. It's a really small, cute, really cool backstory. I'm surprised it's not in the manga, making me chuckle now. Alright, first volume. Also, at the end of the volume, this is a weird bonus chapter. If Kyosuke joined the Black Bulls. Yeah, you know who Kyosuke is. It's another Shonen Jump title, but wasn't as successful, lasted over 30 chapters. Its full name is Kagami Gami. Yeah. I looked it up. It only lasted 5 volumes. I guess the budget was a fan of it when it was running at the time. I don't know. A little weird, but eh. So yeah, Ash's never give up attitude really inspires both Noelle and Magma. So much that Noelle is learning a new spell, more for defense right now. It's a type of water barrier. And Magma uses a combination. He uses a combination with Asta to take down the bad guy. It's weird. There seems to be a bird there, like a magic bird that's. Now, at the beginning, they gave the power of the magic stone. The criminal refused to tell him anything about it, and they say he commits suicide. Really, this guy is dangerous. So we see, we see that guy being reported to at the end of the arc. So yeah. Any last moment. As again, we got a good screen time with manga, but I feel like the manga did not really expand on his character. Didn't give us any information about his past. So I think the anime did a good job with this story. Actually giving Magma a proper backstory, explain it. Well, I think it is explained in the manga, just in descriptions. You'll see what Tabata says in Volume 1. I'm also reading Clover Volume 1. This is Tabata, who hasn't put out any of his regrets about this previous work to good use. Takes too much time on his manga pages, gets held by deadlines, falls short of sleep, falls 2 pieces, and is already making people worry that he's going to die an early death. I got married a few months before I decided to serialize this manga. My mentor, Iwashiro Sensei, was the guest of all the ceremony. That explains a lot, actually. So it seems he was assistant to the author of Kagami Gami. That explains the reference. So if he was probably a mangaka, if he had an assistant, so it must have been a one-on mangaka, and that serialization just failed. I have to look him up some point. So yeah, so yeah, good job, well done. We also get a tease of upcoming villain. There's a gun pulled into a little bit later. Again, no spoilers. But it's kind of a sympathetic villain. Seems this villain is part of the Golden Dawn, but how? Well, we won't know yet. So that's the celebration. The gang, a trio got money, so Vanessa takes a duo out shopping, where Noelle gets a wand. Seke returns briefly. And we also get an introduction to the Wizardkin. We get a sense that he loves magic. Loves all kinds of magic. That makes him extremely likable. His real name is Julius. And again won't meet him again until the end of until start of the 3rd arc. So yeah, and that was the Magic Knights entrance arc. It's a great introduction, short but good. Everyone's people, except for Magma's backstory not being in the original manga. I do not know if that was intentional or not, but I feel like he wasn't characterized much. Compared to the later characters, we got flashbacks to their focused story arcs. You know, what made them who they are, what they are currently now, and how Arthur helped shape them in the future. That's just my only complaint with it. So the anime version did a better job on it. So thank you for watching. Enjoy my content. Please thumbs up. I want to see more subscribe channel and all of this culture. I do my hero review next, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you. I'll see you guys later. Super Jump out.